Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan if you're new here, and I am a homeschool mom to 6 kids. Now we are starting our 8th year of homeschool, and today I'm just going to be sharing what we're going to be doing for electives in our home. First of all, let's talk about what exactly electives are. Basically, I consider electives non-core classes. So none of my kids are high school age, so it doesn't mean electives like in the high school sense where you have certain credits that you fulfill and things like that. It's basically just anything that isn't part of our core curriculum and is kind of extracurricular type stuff, but still I try to keep it a little bit academic in nature just because I want my kids to actually study these things. The main way my kids get their electives is actually through the co-op that we are part of one day a week in our home. I actually recently did a video about best kept secrets all about co-ops, homeschool co-ops. So if you're interested in that video at all, I will link it down below in the description box. But most of the things that my kids do in regards to extracurriculars are actually done in our co-op, like I said. Now, I try to do a balance of academic classes along with more elective type things, and so some of the things that my kids are taking is there are a couple of them that are taking a cooking class, there are a couple of them that are taking a nature study, one of them is actually taking a computer science class, another one is actually taking a survival class, which is pretty cool, and my 4-year-old is actually doing a sweet little nursery rhymes class, and the list goes on. So my kids are involved in taking 4 classes each at our co-op one day a week, so that takes care of some of the electives that we do in our home. Now, we do have something new that last year I decided to do this because my kids have always shown an interest in learning Spanish. There's always Spanish classes that are taught at our co-op, and all of them have taken the beginning Spanish class there. It is basically an introduction to Spanish of just like really basic things of like family members, colors, days of the week, months, numbers, letters, all that kind of stuff. But it has been very fruitful, and my kids absolutely love it. So I got really excited when I watched Ashley's video over at Joyful Noise Learning. I will link her video down below about it, but she actually shared how in her home they are using the Charlotte Mason Simple Spanish, exploring life and nature in Spanish. So this is more of an immersive Spanish curriculum. It doesn't start with just your basics, which I actually kind of like. I think that it is going to be very fruitful in our home, and I'm very excited about using this. However, we are not starting it quite yet. We have started our homeschool year officially for this school year, but I really want us, because we have a really interesting routine this year, which I will be sharing pretty soon in a video, but since we have a very interesting new routine this year and we are still refining that and getting comfortable with it, I am not going to add this into our morning basket until that time. So that is when we will do our simple Spanish, is during our morning basket time. We probably won't spend more than about 15 minutes a day on it, and I'm really excited about it. Now, the next elective is one that is very near and dear to my heart and very important to me, and that is music. If you aren't aware, I actually used to be a public school teacher, and I specifically taught elementary music education. So I am very passionate about all of the wonderful things that music has to offer in educating the whole child. I actually did a series on music in your homeschool. I will link that playlist down below if you're interested in that. But it is a very important subject that even if you approach it very simply or approach it full on, it is something that should be in every homeschool, and that is not just an opinion. I feel like it is a scientific fact. But nonetheless, it is important nonetheless. And so the way that we approach that in our home is in several ways. music is a part of our everyday life in our home. We do hymn studies, which is a part of our morning basket, where we just learn different hymns throughout the year. So that is one simple way that you can incorporate it. Another way is this year we are going to continue to use Squilt Live as an amazing music resource. If you're not familiar with it, it is in that playlist of music in your homeschool. Squilt Live is amazing. If you are not well versed in music, or even if you are, it is wonderful. It's wonderful. You can do the Squilt Live option, which is actually where Miss Mary teaches the class, and it is fantastic. She provides you with all of the printout materials and all that kind of stuff, and the kids actually get to interact with her, not each other, but with her through Zoom, and it is offered 2 days a week, so whichever one fits your schedule best is where it fits in. And she just does an amazing job. She is a veteran homeschool mama who also used to be a music educator and has a huge passion for it as well. So I love Squilt Live. It's a great resource. And if you don't want to utilize the Squilt Live option, she does sell the actual unit studies that you can use in your home that are very, very good studies to use as well. So make sure you check that out if you are looking for an actual music curriculum to incorporate. Now, another thing that I am wanting to be very intentional with this year is I love to incorporate music in a way where it lines up with what we are learning in history. History is something that is very important to me to teach as well. I love incorporating subjects together. So we are actually studying 1850 to modern times, that time period of history this year. And so my plan is, as we are learning about different points in history, to incorporate music within those points in history so that my kids have that reference point of what the music was like during that time period. I think that that is such a wonderful way to incorporate it into your everyday studies, whether it's just listening to a piece of music from that era, reading about a composer or artist from that area, or whatever. It's a very simple, easy way. It is a very simple way to incorporate music and connect it to history, and it makes it stick a lot better when you can connect it to other subjects. Now, much like the way I plan on doing music with matching things up with the time period, that is also what I am planning to do with art this year. Last year, we used Masterbooks art lessons for a living education, I think is what it's called. I have a video if you would like to see a flip through of it. We really enjoyed it. It teaches the elements of art and is an excellent, excellent resource to use. Very simple, very laid out. And so we really enjoyed it. We probably will still continue to use it this year because I feel like there are many things that you could go back through and refine on those elements of art. But also, in addition to that, I really want to focus on the time periods and the art that goes with each one. So that is how I plan on incorporating art this year as well. I like to have those connections again, so it just sticks a little bit better, and it's really fun to do it that way. It becomes more almost interest-led, and it's just a wonderful way to incorporate it organically into your homeschool. The last thing I want to talk about is an excellent resource that we have been using for my boys for coding. So many of you probably are aware of this, but I will stick a link to the actual website in the description. But a few years ago for Christmas, my sister got my oldest son a book about coding with Scratch. Coding from scratch or something like that. I will put a link to the updated book down below. But basically, it is a book that is put out by DK Publishing, great publishing company, and it goes with the MIT website. I can't talk. The MIT website, there is a Scratch coding website that is set up for kids that teaches them how to code. So if you want to start out with the beginnings, getting the DK Scratch coding book is an excellent thing to start with. It just walks them through learning how to code on the Scratch website. You make them an account on there, and it is so cool, some of the stuff that they do. My oldest son is making like a video game of Jurassic Park where like you can actually click on the different things and build buildings, and I don't understand any of it, but he does, and it's really cool, and it keeps them really engaged, and it is a great learning opportunity for your kids. So I highly, highly recommend that website. The last thing I actually need your all's help with, and that is typing. So I have heard of several typing resources, but I haven't decided on which one we are going to use. Here are the things, okay, before you give your input. I prefer for it to be computer-based, and it would be amazing if it's free. So I've heard of a few different things. I've heard of just typing.com, I know is one. Typing Club, I think, is another one. I would love your input on that, because I do want to incorporate that, especially with my oldest son, because he's in 6th grade and he is working so much on the computer with his computer science class at co-op, and then the Scratch and all that kind of stuff here at home. So give me your input. What experiences have you had with different typing programs? Suggest them down below, because I would love to know. Now, let's talk about how we're going to fit this all in. I mentioned the Simple Spanish is going to be part of our morning basket. It should take 10 to 15 minutes from what I am estimating here. The other thing is our music. It is going to be incorporated pretty organically into our study by matching it up with the time periods, like I said. Same with the art. And then the Squilt Live lessons are typically in the afternoon during rest time when my younger kids are sleeping. So it is perfect timing wise for that. And then the coding typically happens during their rest time as well, because they are allowed to have a little bit of screen time, and that is typically what they choose to do, not what I assign to do. So that is how it will all fit in. I would love to know down in the comments, what are some elective classes you are adding to your homeschool? I love getting new ideas, and I think it's great to share ideas with other mamas who are maybe looking for some ideas. So share what you're doing down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful, and I will see you all on future videos. Thanks so much, guys, and have a blessed day.